me as a Muslim parent, the reason I would assume it is,
yes,
because it's just a normal part of our Islamic culture and practice.
What, segregation?
No, separating in a public space, limiting the interaction between boys and girls. If there's no particular need for it, if there's a need, then you interact.
That is
your children
in direct contravention of kind of what it's not a phrase I particularly like because it's such a broad church, but that's in direct contravention of what you'd call liberal or Western or British values. Boys and girls shouldn't mix. They should be kept apart as much as possible. Just tell me why, from your perspective.
According to your maybe interpretation of liberal Western values, I agree that it might be, but not according to my interpretation.
So what is yours? Why do you think boys and girls should be kept apart?
This is there's you know, in Islamic law, we separate between the actual core reason and some
but you're supposed to be redefining Western values for me. You can't do that with reference to Islamic law. Why do you think boys and girls should be kept apart?
According to the Western values context?
No, according to Salman in Acton. Just why you think it's a good idea.
As I was about to say, there's a reason Islamically, and that is, the core reason is, this is an expression of Islamic religious piety. There are other things...
No, but that's not a why, Salman. I apologise for interrupting you again. It's not a why. That's just because it says so in the book. But why? Why do you personally think it's a good... Hey, you need to understand what my question is, because you've misanswered it twice. Why do you personally think it's a good idea, or even perhaps important, to keep 9-year-old boys separate from 9-year-old girls?
James, you might not like my answer, but that is the answer. You might not agree with it, but that is the answer.
Well, then it's discrimination.
No, according to your spin on it.
No, not at all. You're saying that boys and girls must be kept separate because it says so in a religious book. That's the definition of discrimination.
That isn't a definition of discrimination. In fact,
yes, it is.
Discrimination here is you putting a special rule on when Muslims do it.
No. Any religious book, not just the Quran. If someone said the Bible or the Torah. Say again?
So that's discrimination to what you would put under this vacuous, ambiguous term called religion.
Vacuous, ambiguous term called religion?
Yes, absolutely.
So the question is, just to be clear, why do you think it's a good idea to keep 9-year-old boys and 9-year-old girls separate? And your answer is because the Quran says so. And you can't go any further than that. So what reason does the Quran give?
I can go further.
Good, go on then.
You have to understand that I gave up, and many Muslims gave up a long time ago, to try to please a Western mindset or a non-Muslim or so on and so forth with our particular practices.
But you just said that it fitted into the Western mindset. But I feel your pain. It must be awful. Just explain to me the Quranic justification for keeping 9-year-old boys separate from 9-year-old girls then.
It's not mentioned in the Quran as far as I understand.
But that was the reason you gave me for why it was a good thing to do.
No, I said it's part of Islamic practice and Islamic...
That's okay, so it's nothing to do with religion then?
No, it's part of... The Quran is not only the only source of Islamic...
So what is the scriptural rationale for keeping 9-year-old boys away from 9-year-old girls? What do the scriptures warn might happen if you let them mix, Salman?
So those are two different questions.
Well, answer them both, in whatever order you want.
So the scriptural rationale is that is closer to piety, okay? Now, as for what might happen... if you don't adhere to this isn't the actual reason. Now we're looking at consequences or wisdoms of the ruling, for which there are many.
You're just doing word salad now.
This is, again, you don't have to agree with me.
But I can't agree or disagree with you because you're not saying anything sensible.